Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, proudly brought to you by Lay of the Land, and I'm your host, Rolene Marks. And as always, we'll take a look at some of the top stories making the news headlines in Israel. And today is a very, very exciting news day indeed. And I'm feeling like a little bit of a lunatic as much as the rest of the country is, because Israel is set to become the fourth country to send or to land on the moon. We hope to launch the Brief, an unmanned spacecraft, a little later Israeli time, but early in the morning Cape Canaveral in Florida time, and a very, very exciting endeavor indeed. And all of us are feeling the lunar effects and wish our team that have put together this incredible feat of innovation and technology, Bahatzlacha, everything of the best for a successful launch, and also hopefully a successful return. And that will be on April the 11th, just in time to miss the elections, which themselves are very exciting, but more about that later. Let's have a look at happenings in France. And last night, French President Emmanuel Macron addressed the French Jewish community. You know, we've been discussing quite a bit, not just the marches against anti-Semitism, which took place across the country the other day, but also the levels of anti-Semitism, up 74% in France alone. And as President Macron said, at pre-World War II levels, which is very, very worrying indeed. And he made the promise to the community that France is dedicated to fighting anti-Semitism, and that members of the Jewish community shouldn't feel that they should have to leave France, and that an attack on the Jewish community is an attack on the French Republic. But big news out of France today, and that is that the French government will adopt the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism, which among many things equates anti-Zionism, which is the denial of the Jewish people to self-determination. They will equate that with anti-Semitism, making it a crime. So that is quite an extraordinary achievement, and also gives some kind of legal recourse against anti-Semitism. Now, while we're talking about anti-Semitism, we have to mention Iran and Iran's place in propagating the kind of genocidal language against Israel. And Foreign Minister Zarif said that he doesn't rule out the possibility of an eventual war with Israel. In fact, he accused Israel of violating Lebanese and Syrian sovereignty. Now, Israel has struck Iranian targets in Syria. These are targets with the intention of attacking Israel, and also convoys of weapons destined for either Hamas in Gaza or to Hezbollah in Lebanon. And Israel does reserve the right to protect her sovereignty and her citizens. And then it's the other big news making the headlines today. April the 9th is the big elections, and the big news out of Israel today is that the merger between Benny Gantz's Chosen Israel and Yair Lapid's Yesh Atid will go through. They have merged. They will call themselves the Blue and White Party. Their hope is to form an alliance that will push out the far right, or the far right coalition. Also coming into the fold is yet another former IDF Chief of Staff, Gabi Ashkenazi, and one of the terms of this merger is the agreement that should they win, should they be the party with the most seats and invited to form a coalition or to run the country, Benny Gantz will take the term of Prime Minister for 2 years, followed by Yair Lapid for another 2 years. And as many of us agree, you know, those of us who have pined and are watching these elections very closely, we have quite an exciting race. So exciting times in Israel, whether we are landing on the moon or voting in landmark elections, it's all happening here, and it's all happening online. at www.layoftheland.online. That's www.layoftheland.online. And today you can hear from Arab opinion makers in the region, just what they think of their governments, what's happening in their countries. Very, very interesting indeed. Don't forget to like us or follow us on Facebook at Lotl Sat, LOTL Sat, or look for us at Lay of the Land. And don't forget you can subscribe to your daily brief by clicking on the subscribe button below or on the notification little bell. So many things to discuss, so many exciting things happening in Israel today. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and I will be joining many around the country in watching Bereshit launch into space. So from all of us at Lay of the Land to you, we wish you Shabbat Shalom.